You're not seriously leaving him there.
Alle troepen, dit is CP. Ons zit in noodgeval. Die voorspan is uit.
They know you took out the skulls. No sense rushing things now. Wait and see what their next move is. Don't endanger the target like that. You have to bring him back here. He's coming too. Roger that.
Alles gespannen, bespied omgeven. Ruiting en drang uit.
You're not seriously leaving him there. Don't endanger the target like that. You have to bring him back here. You're not seriously leaving him there. Don't endanger the target like that. You have to bring him back here. Seriously leaving him there. You gotta extract him. He's coming too. Roger that. Don't endanger the target like that. You have to bring him back here. You're not seriously leaving him there. endanger the target like that. You have to bring him back here. You're not seriously leaving him there. Like that. You have to bring him back here. You gotta extract him. You're not seriously leaving him there. Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. Don't endanger the target like that. You have to bring him back here.
Tô tentando escapar aqui da missão de antes. Já localizei o mestre aqui, aí tô tentando resgatar aí.
Don't endanger the target like that. You have to bring him back here. You're not seriously leaving him there.
Agora é só sair da área. Aí pronto, terminar a missão.
Roger. Don't endanger the target like that. You have to bring him back here. You're not seriously leaving him there.
Shortly at LZ. This is Pequot. Have arrived at LZ. Will stand by.
Don't endanger the target like that. You have to bring him back here. You gotta extract him.
Gaining altitude.
Mission complete. Great work. Boss, we found the bodies of the two missing Intel team members in Lufwa Valley. We knew we wouldn't get them back alive, but still, it's a damn shame. Don't let their sacrifice go to waste, boss. We need to stop the epidemic at Mother Base. That old man, Code Talker, he's the only hope we've got.
Tell me how to fight it.
I hid the answer in a microbe this one carries. It turns the male parasites into females, preventing reproduction. One parasite infecting another. However, it doesn't affect only the parasite. It alters the host as well. Your infection will be contained. But you and your men will also be rendered infertile. That is the price you must pay to regain your speech.
That freak show back there. They the work of your children too?
A different strain from the vocal cord parasite, known as the one that covers. It acts as the host's skin, providing strength in exchange for nourishment. But I did not know those men were infected. They were forced to serve him, then steal my research. Have you seen one of their vehicles?
The yellow cake.
Captured a convoy they were escorting. Cargo, some kind of mineral.
What became of it? The metallic archaea?
Clouds ahead!
It's them.
Boss, are you okay? So the vocal cord parasites that have infected Mother Base, they're ethnic cleansers designed to silence those who don't fit into Skullface's worldview. We can't allow him to have such power. Go over the mission details and get going ASAP.
Miller told me about what happened in the Caribbean 9 years ago. You do remember Miller. You'd formed a private army with him. An army with no allegiance to a nation.
I remember, but...
I see. You're not sure what's fact and what's a fantasy caused by the coma.
Kaz, what about the unit that attacked us in the mist? Ocelot said the number of private forces is increasing, and they've modeled themselves after us.
They're a far cry from the likes of us.
But why?
Remember before, boss? When Quiet attacked one of our guys on Mother Base, stuck a knife in his mouth. He's one of the very few soldiers who've had contact with her recently. Close contact. I don't think it's a coincidence that he was among those who became symptomatic pretty early on in this epidemic. Saliva and blood spatter, an open wound.
Snake, I wanted to ask you about the man on fire. What do you remember?
Boss, about those invalids you saw in that Devil's. One more thing. About the surgery that had been performed on the people in the Devil's house.
Yeah?
You said that their throats were cut open, with an acoustic tube pushed inside?
Right. The tubes were hooked up to tape recorders, playing some kind of audio.
Well, we picked up some of that audio through your radio transmissions and recorded it here. The intel team has been working on analyzing the communications log.
What have they found?
Hard to believe how many of those bipedal... Boss, sorry to keep you waiting. Boss, I have the report on that cargo.
It wasn't just Cypher. Back in the Caribbean, every eye in the world was turned on.
When quiet is... You were hospitalized in Decalia, a British sovereign. Miller told me.
Here, Snake, try this on. A prosthetic arm.
Yeah, Miller was calling it the arm that wasn't there. The physiotherapy's going well. Your arm's bulked up enough for it to fit. There. Perfect. A little time with it, and it'll work better than the real thing. What do you think?
Huh. I can still feel my real arm.
Well, you better get used to this one quick. You have any pain?
Every now and then.
Where?
My fingertips. My left fingertips.
Sounds like phantom pain. Your brain still remembers your old hand.
Yeah.
What about your vision? Can you see okay?
Yeah, at the moment.
Now, the shrapnel in your skull is pressing on your optic nerve. I'm told any hard impact could have... Snake, I wanted to ask you about the... Boss, one more thing. About the surgery that had been performed on the people in the Devil's House.
Yeah.
You said that their throats were cut open, with an acoustic tube pushed inside?
Right. The tubes were hooked up to tape recorders, playing some kind of audio.
Well, we picked up some of that audio through your radio transmissions and recorded it here. The intel team has been working on analyzing the communications log.
What have they found?
There's nothing tying the contents together. We've got a report on 3 deaths in a car accident on the autoroute near Marseille. Protests outside the Libyan embassy in London. A press conference with the former Prime Minister of Sweden. A 4-month-old weather forecast for Balikpapan. And then commercials for appliances, cough syrup, and TV dinners. Assuming they're not all staged, they come off as recordings of your average public broadcasts.
Public broadcasts? Just radio and TV signals?
Yes, and from all over the world. We're looking into whether they're genuine or not, just to be sure. What else? A speech that sounds like it was recorded out on the street, and people chatting about how this year's tomato crop did.
And there's nothing they have in common?
We're partway through the cryptanalysis. That includes checking all audio ranges and running it backward and at different speeds. Then there's vocabulary breakdown for political suggestions. Ideological common points. But I don't think it's going to get us anywhere.
Where were the recordings made?
There's nothing linking them from that angle either. Just like you reported, we've detected virtually every major language there is. French, German, Italian, Spanish, including South American accents. Then there's Russian, Hindi, Arabic, Portuguese, Mandarin, Cantonese, Japanese.
They're nothing if not thorough.
Well, I don't know if we've got them all covered. Ignoring the ones that have gone extinct, supposedly over 5,000 languages exist today. Besides, English isn't one of the ones we picked up.
Really? English?
I know. Only 5% of the world's population is a native English speaker. But when you factor in those who've acquired it as a second language, nearly 1/3 of the people speak it. The world's dominant lingua franca. You gotta figure they had it somewhere among all the languages in that place.
No English.
Bear in mind, we didn't hear everything that was played in that room. We couldn't isolate the more distant sounds due to static, and the program could have been set to change every day. In a nutshell, for reasons unknown, people in that room with a common medical condition were made to listen to recordings in languages from around the world. It's not clear how the growths on their chests fit into it. It could have been treatment for them, or maybe an experiment of some kind.
I'm guessing one person knows.
Yeah, Skullface. He was there. The only thing we can say for sure is that he's involved.